Hey, how's it going?
Can you hear my mic?
Yes, quite well. Just let me know when the when Foxa will be here too.
I'm using my streaming mic, so try
Okay,
to get a little bit better quality.
thank you. All right,
Damn near
everyone.
maxed out though, so
I see. All right.
going through Discord is a little weird. I usually have a separate mic for that.
I see.
It's a little bit lower quality, but
That being said, let me go ahead and get started. So hello everyone. Welcome to the YapperZone, and this is episode number 3. The topic for tonight will be all about music. We will express everything that comes from like the music industry, video games, soundtracks, film music, anything from the general industry as well, what we think about it, what we know, what we wish to know, what we like and dislike, what genres we enjoy doing or what we want to tap into, etc., etc. So this will be much within the flow of going from subtopic to subtopic per usual, because that's how this cast is structured. So welcome on in and feel free to chat along and enjoy the show. So our guests are K9SMOKEY and Foxo, and he should be here pretty soon. So, Canon Smokey, is there anything that comes to mind when it comes to like music? Anything that really strikes you, or things you enjoy the most usually, and why?
things that strike me. I don't know. I'm kind of like one of those people that say like I like a lot of stuff,
Hmm.
and it's not any particular genre. It's just whether or not I feel the energy or vibe or I don't know, something from the music itself. And it could be anything from classical to synthwave or whatever.
Yeah.
And what was the other part of the question?
Um. Well, let's see. I think the other part of the question is um, like I think you may have answered everything. I guess the closest thing was like what strikes you? Like, is there any artist in particular, or any or as to why like you like this kind of music by genre or by the artist?
Artist wise, it just depends really. But genre, it depends like what you're doing. It depends like what kind of mood you're going for. Like if you're going to the gym, like sometimes heavy metal. You can use it for motivation. You can use music for to like kind of calm you. Like I guess you could say like white noise. I used to
Ah,
do a lot of electronic music like when I was studying for like information technology stuff and cert test I was preparing for. A lot of stuff. You said like video game stuff like earlier. I listened to the OST of Hotline Miami a lot, which I think one of the ones was called Moon, I believe. Can't really remember.
I see. Yeah, video game soundtracks definitely have a lot of variety to it. And that being said, as far as being able to listen to music that is fit and appropriate to like the scenario you're going through in real life makes a lot of sense. If I was ever like going to a gym myself, I typically listen to like Euro dance music, sometimes rock, hard rock, electronica, trance, and just other groovy stuff. Sometimes even drum and bass, especially when I'm going at like exercising at an extremely fast pace. Um, it just works out that way. No pun intended. As far as like game soundtracks go, a lot of the ones that I really love that come to mind are games like Chrono Cross, which is like an old PS1 RPG, Zelda Ocarina of Time, classic everyone loves, Metroid Prime as well, even one of the GameCube classics. So it really comes down to like for me, a lot of it is like melody, atmosphere, and even instrumentation. So like if anything is tightly composed, there's a good chance I'm going to be saving it as an MP3 collection.
Um, just to interrupt you for a second, did you make this a group call?
Hmm?
Did it start out as a group call? Because
Not yet. Let me go ahead and so what was his name? Foxo?
I can add him right now, but it's gonna create a new call, so you're gonna have the
Oh, don't worry. Don't
noise.
yeah, don't worry. Just go ahead and do that. The stream will still be going on.
I should be back. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay. So at least this way they can join when they're ready now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Just gonna give a real quick recap. On the answer. So that being said, but yeah, to extend on this. Hey, hello,
So,
welcome. Foxo.
hello, hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah. I didn't expect it to take an extra time.
Welcome,
Make sure it's all
welcome.
right.
No, it's fine. So me and Smokey just started the first subtopic, which was like, what are your favorite genres? Just introductory stuff, like what are your favorite genres? Like why do you like
Like
them? Why
a,
do you like the artists?
I
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Well, honestly, I could go into the the typical answers where it's it's like yeah, I like everything, but honestly, it's like we're exposed to like so many genres, like just like so freely that there's like good songs all around. But I can tell you that what I lean on is a lot of jam band stuff,
Oh,
because I can just kind of leave it on, and plus sometimes it's
that's really
funky.
cool. So you said jam band?
Yeah, 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 like Fish or Grateful Dead.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, I've been going back on them a little bit.
Hmm.
Uh,
Do you
I
ever?
honestly don't know many furries or furries that are that do like the dead, but
Hmm. Yeah. Well, do you like listen to music when you're out like maybe walking or exercising or doing any kind of real life scenarios? And if so, like what kinds do you typically listen to?
I mean honestly, it really depends on my mood. Um, like, and I don't really think about it. I don't really think about it like
Ah,
to like too hard. Exactly, it's like what I mean. Of course, I'm not gonna listen to Lindsay Lohan like while I'm like working out like these imaginary guns. You know what I mean? But
ah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
true.
I don't know. I bet you there's a lot of people that like fucking. I'm sorry. Can I say? Can I curse on here,
Oh
or
yeah,
should I just be a
absolutely.
little?
Feel free to
Okay,
express
okay, okay,
yourself.
okay. Well, I bet you there are probably some people that do like listen to Lindsay Lohan or like listen to the Titanic while they're like like running.
I
Eh,
see.
like
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know.
of course, people listen
It's
to
like,
all sorts of
but
music in cars. But yeah, what were you
oh
saying?
yeah, yeah. Well, I did. Dude, it would be funny if like an Enya, like a drum and bass Enya, and they're like like.
Yeah.
Uh,
So as far as just like anything that comes from oh, since you said about like furries in the music industry, do you happen to know like other like furries who are also musicians? Because that's always something like really intriguing to like get
Not
into.
enough, dude. Not enough. I don't. I think there's plenty out there,
Mm,
but like I think there's plenty out there, but I honestly think there should be more. Um, there should be like I don't know, like there should be more activity focused, so like kind of bring in those communities. I like maybe I see a lot of DJs like in
mm.
VR chat and all that, but it's like imagine like having like an open mic like performers,
Oh yeah.
if they have like the equipment, you know what I mean? Because like I obviously no one likes to hear like well, I don't know. You could be really good at it, but like, or you could have a really good mic, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, but like typically don't people don't like hearing like a very loud electric guitar going through a crappy mic. You know what I
True.
mean? you
Smokey,
know.
Smokey, do you like have any furry musicians that you like or enjoy or like keep tabs on or have in mind?
They don't really like come to mind per se, but like I don't know. I never really paid that much attention per se, but like I know there are some people that they did instruments when they were in high school or they're part of a band.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of amateur musicians out there, but like if you're talking
What?
like more professional or semi-professional, it gets a little bit more
Like what?
dicey.
Yeah. Like
Hmm.
what? Like what level? What level of musician do you mean? Like or if that like question even matters really. You know. Actually no, I got a musician to shout out. Like shout out to Cairo. It's a dude named Cairo that's just very very very. He has a he has a very good voice. I don't know if he has any songs or anything like that, but yeah, I've been like kicking with him and been like just I don't know, drinking beer and just writing random songs and then forgetting them the next day.
Sounds like me with ideas.
Yeah, I did. I did. I'm a brainstormer.
That's cool. Uh,
I like to goof around.
as far as like furry musicians go, I do have two that immediately come to mind. Obviously, a lot of people know about Pepper Coyote, so he's done some of the he's very acoustic, but he's done some pretty notorious songs like music for Bad Dragon
Didn't he? Yeah,
and
didn't he do play a set last year, or is he
possibly.
playing? I honestly don't stay. I'll digress. It's like I'm a little behind on like what the schedule is for like Ferality. I'm kind of like just randomly
I'm not sure
cruising.
about
You
Ferality,
know what
but like if we're talking like actual fur cons, that's the kind of stuff I
I
would
mean?
like
Yeah,
try to pay attention to, and it's ones I've recently been to Stratosphere, but I don't really know much any bands or musicians from there that I even attended, but I do
yeah. All
know
right.
there's another person I might remember
It's
name.
not enough, guys. Let's start a band.
That'd be so funny. Well, if I had better like more confident instrumental music performance, then maybe
Oh,
I
dude,
might consider being part of something. But
it's all about having fun. You know, you go like, oh, God,
yeah. I think there was another person I remembered that I always keep missing her concerts for some reason, like one way or another, because of how like busy I am at FurCons. Her name is Cassidy Civette, and it's like, oh my God, this
yeah,
is so cool. I want to like see her stuff because she advertises it so much. It's like, okay, yeah, let me go
right.
ahead and
Well, and the
get more
timing's
knowledge of
just
the
bad.
furry
Yeah.
concerts. But
No,
yeah,
yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you on that. Like I have a friend of mine that like DJs that has like the schedule going on, but like I don't know. I'm such a scatterbrain that I just like lose track of time, and it's like, oh fuck.
yeah.
I swear I'll make it. I'll swear I'll make it. Like, like for the full set. You know what
That being said,
I mean?
there's also another furry musician that also came to mind previously alongside Purple Coyote, and he is a professional electronica musician that does a lot of ambient covers and amazing like electronic versions of certain game soundtracks, and he's also been known to make professional
That's
dance and
cool.
trance music. This guy goes by the name previously as Frederick Miller. Um, Frederick Miller is from Sweden, and he was somebody that I used to contact with quite a bit, and even commissioned a couple of trance songs. I'll notate them after the episode of this podcast gets
Okay.
uploaded, and give some citations as to the sources of what I've discussed. But I
All
will say
right.
that he doesn't call himself Frederick Miller anymore. He's now known as Frozen Measure, which is clever because his abbreviations are the same. FM, and they also have a radio type called FM and not just AM, which is awesome.
Right.
And he has recently I wouldn't say recently, but like in recent years, he has been working for music from that is the Walking Dog, or I think what is it called, the Walking Dog. Anyway, it's
Well,
basically
yeah.
this like music group, and they make albums and song sets that are good for background music and
Like
lo-fi. Yeah, Walking Dog Productions.
they're like a band. They're like a
Kind
band, or are they like kind of like
um,
a buddy sort of thing? Like
it's more of a budding
kind
thing.
of like
Yeah, because it's
yeah.
like one of the musicians is Frozen Measure, but there's also another musician who contributes to that. Well, Tiny Dragon makes the artworks for them. One of the other musicians is Vince Wolf, which definitely might ring a
Oh.
bell. So yeah, I
Oh, Vince Wolf, like he's that Fox dude, right? Oh,
uh,
he's got Wolf in his name. Oh, okay.
I mean, it's kind of
So,
obvious. Like, if it's Vince Wolf, he's a wolf, a gray wolf in
yeah,
this
yeah,
case. And
yeah.
it's like, okay, yeah, he also makes music, which is freaking awesome, and not just being an English teacher. If he really wanted to, it's like, I don't know. I also thought of the idea of like a music teacher. I personally would not make a good one myself because I'm not that well versed into music. I'm all about visual art. So, if anything, I think I'm just
Right.
a lot more. I can empathize and relate to a lot of things that Tiny Dragon would
Well,
because he's actually taught art before. I've never taught, like, had to teach a class.
well, and it's kind of funny to say like you actually know about music, but you're in a different sort of realm
A
because
little bit,
like
yeah.
colors are harmony. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you know what I mean? And like the way a song kind of like hits certain spots. You know what I mean? A painting can definitely like serve as like a clarity focus, like having a painting on the wall that's very vibrant. You know what I mean? Wake you up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Like, well, with those notions combined, it kind of reminds me of some people having a condition called
Synesthesia.
synesthesia. So where
Yeah.
they like see sound, they have
Yeah. Yeah.
see
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
colored lights based on like every instance of sounds that they sense. So it's kind of a rare condition when you take a look at
The
it.
the phantom touch of music.
Pretty much.
I mean, that was so cheesy, but yeah. No, I mean that's basically what it is, though.
So,
Yeah,
Smokey,
man.
you got any inputs about this kind of stuff? Like anything that just might have come to mind?
Oh, you mentioned Vince. I've kind of worked with him a couple times, not music related, but like there's events that were done for charity. Really great guy. I think they have some kind of free, like you're saying, like what's the word? Copyright, royalty free type music
Yeah, I believe that's what
for other
they've been
streamers.
working on. Yeah, him and
Yeah.
Frozen Measure, aka Frederick Miller.
The latter, I don't have any experience or knowledge of, so I
Hmm.
can't really speak to their work.
Tiny Dragon knows him personally, I believe. And technically his persona is like Frederick's persona is a fluffy like a dark greenish teal blue dragon, so he's very icy. I mean, it kind of makes sense considering how he lives way up in the north, one of the Scandinavian countries, and it's just really cool to know that we
Frozen
have like
Dragon.
like more furry professional musicians here and there that can really like contribute to these kinds of things.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
it's like it's like and like bringing more exposure to like just
hmm,
like the live band experience too.
yeah, I
Not
mean,
saying that like there isn't that like people haven't experienced that, but like I don't know. There's a certain element to it. That's very collectively. I don't know. I don't know how to exactly explain it. It's like when like you're really focused on like some like really good entertainment. It's whether it's a concert or something like that.
true.
Okay. And like you get to a certain point when like you're just like tunnel visioned, you know, and then you start looking around and you realize the movements that you're doing. So like kind of like the thoughts that you're doing and everything, you kind of like feel like everybody else is doing it too, especially with the dances, with like really good music. It's crazy how much like out of control your own you become out of body. You know what I mean?
Oh
And
yes.
I don't know. It's
Just
really
turn up the
cool.
volume and then really immerse
And
yourself, lose yourself in the process.
yeah. I did.
Yeah. It also
You
makes me
sounded
think
like
back.
such a pothead there. It's like
Yeah,
yeah.
it's fun. Like, oh my God, it really gets me in a mood, and I do certain things sometimes when I'm in a special state of mind while listening
Oh
to
yeah.
music, and it's just like
Oh
there are
yeah.
just some things that are just groovy, some that are soothing, and some that are just downright fucking sexy. Like there are just some
Oh,
music
dude.
and beats that just
It'll
fucking
put you in the
slap, and
mood
it's like,
immediately.
oh,
Yeah. It would be.
very good stuff. Especially by like
Oh.
being genre specific about it at times too.
Or like intimidating.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry.
Yeah, the hardcoreness of some tracks, it really just it's like you know exactly what you want at the very moment, and it just helps
Hmm.
really make your day or make your night.
Hmm.
That being said, if I've also wondered like if there are like even furry musicians who would make music in a soundtrack style, like they don't just like they can actually make music for like their own fan animations, and not just stock background music.
Hmm.
So people who make animations for just nice storytelling stuff that are often posted on YouTube, or make music that are for porn animations. It's like make porno music or something that can blend in decently enough. That works too, but it's
Go
especially
get
extra
that
credit if
WAP
they
handle.
like make original compositions on it and not just stock footages of on
Right,
audio.
right, right.
You start out a track with "Let me pound your ear hole."
Oh, great. Well, that being said, I've also like wondered how if they can like make original composition music in a theatrical style for their like own like musical like videos or films, because sometimes fursuiters just they try to make their either their own music videos, so they have to compose some sort of music, or they actually make like
Mhm.
film like short films like scenarios or comedy, but a person actually makes like a very theatrical fitting soundtrack for it, and it's like all original, and that's something I really want to like highlight and give so much like props to. And it's like, these people really do deserve more appreciation, those who work in the sound and audio department, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
directly for furries, and being them
Well,
themselves as
and
well.
well, that's the other thing too. It's hard to like keep doing that. It's because like the more um the more like information age like is more available to like to us. It's a lot harder for a musician to like keep a living too. So
This is true. It's
you
really
know.
unfortunate because it's like musicians these days. Sure, you can do more freelancing because of the accessibility of the internet, but not
Right.
everybody still
Well,
has that
and
all
you
the time, and it's
learn
like
if you
it's
train
especially
your ear,
hard.
you learn so much. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? And you can put it into like a lot of different trades too.
Yeah, and it's really difficult to like make good money as a freelance musician these days, and you really have to go
Oh
basically
yeah.
really berserk and crazy on it to like market
Oh yeah,
yourself
yeah,
and get
yeah.
yourself promoted out there and just make ends meet and just scratch.
Well,
Yeah,
it's not as easy to like live in a van. You
pretty
know,
much.
if you really wanted to do that.
It's like,
Much less by the
yeah.
river.
Mm.
Much less by the river.
And like
Sorry,
writers,
I have to do
writers are
comedy
also like
occasionally.
having a hard time too. Like if you're trying to make a lot of money as a writer, you're gonna have to do a lot of like pre-planning and structuring. It's like
Oh yeah, yeah.
self-publishing, and so I can
Oh
imagine like
yeah.
how like tricky that can be in the long run and not just in the moment, because it's like that kind of stuff probably takes even
Right.
longer to build, and it's like, I really feel sorry
Well,
for
it's
those,
like
especially in the furry fandom, who
it's
does like nothing but writing or nothing but music or both, and it's like because it's not
right.
very visual, it's like it's hard to get a lot of attraction.
Well, yeah. I mean, well that's but it's like the furry fan is just like one community. It's small part,
Hmm.
But it's like what boggles my mind is like why writers aren't as praised as they should be.
This is true.
Just in general.
And I guess, for what it's worth, or for what it has to be, like more people have to even resort to like writing erotica, and that's why a lot of people have to only make just to make ends meet. And if they fall into that, it's like, someday they want to break out of that shell and make their own
But
stuff that are more safe
or
work. The same can be said for artists,
they have the
especially.
mentality of that it's like eventually they're gonna break out of the shell, or they like it.
Yeah,
It's like, that's pretty hot.
either way works, because like even for me, like sometimes when I have to make ends meet, I have to make like not safe for work pieces from time to time. But lately I have actually been getting some clients over like more over like in recent years, where they also want me to do safe for work stuff, so it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because I like to do
Wait,
a little bit of
so you
everything. I'm not always like,
you're
porn, 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 just like when it comes to illustrating.
right, right. Like so you make novels.
I no,
By the
no,
by the way,
I've never
I'm
really made novels,
Foxokiso.
and
Hi.
I only like most of the time when it comes to like music, I compose. I compose rarely. Like I usually don't have a real
Yeah.
reason to compose instead of just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
But I do
Well,
like to mess with music.
that's writing. That's
Yeah,
writing music. It's like you don't think about writing music. You're just playing music.
yeah. If
At
it
least
comes
that's
to
what I do.
that, like if it comes to that, I used to have like a keyboard. Had it for like over 2 decades, and it was just one of my childhood like just amusements. It's
Mm.
just I wish I actually did take it seriously so I can like perform
I
really well in
had so much
music, but
fun
that
with
never
my
came to
keyboard.
fruition. Nobody made me. I kind of wish they did. I wish my parents
Yeah,
made me like do music well, but that just never
my drums
happened.
are
So it's like,
noisy.
okay, yeah, it's a toy.
Yeah.
But I will say that I used to love doing quite a bit of performance on the one. I wouldn't say like public performance, but like I definitely used to play the recorder flute and the ocarina quite a bit. So I've actually grown to
Hell
become
yeah.
like a woodwind fan. So
I
if
love
there
the
is any like
ocarina.
musical
It sounds so
instrumental
good.
family that I'm actually very attuned to and prefer, it would be the woodwinds. What about you though?
Dude, I'm a guitarist. I'm guitarist, also bass player, and all that. I tried like getting into, I can play keyboards too, but I'm more synthesizers, Like, "Go, go, go, beep, boop, beep." Anyway,
Yeah.
Foxo was actually in a few bands.
I've been in a few, yeah, like some like emo punk bands, and did the hardcore for a bit.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
Smokey, were there any like instrumental like sets that you were like into even back when you were young? Like, did you ever have a preference?
I mostly grew up to listening to Rush and things of this nature
They
when
sound
I
so
was over at my dad's house. So I have some appreciation for stuff like Pink Floyd. Um, Fox, I mentioned the Grateful Dead. I got a little bit of exposure to that through some of my family that are hippies. Um, what
I,
else was there?
I ended up getting into them like late, like, and no one introduced me to them. It was just like I had nothing to listen to, and then
Just
I
a little
just
bit
got
of
addicted
everything,
to
really.
listening to the sets, basically.
But I had an appreciation for um, Rush in particular because that's one of my dad's favorite bands of all time, and um, to kind of parrot what other people say, uh, they're a musician, so they're very technical. So like it's kind of like, oh, beer is an acquired taste, wine is an acquired taste kind of thing. It's like this type of brand of music it's not pop, it's not catchy, it's its own thing. And then like once you have acquired that taste, it's really enjoyable. But to the person who's just like, oh, I want to go listen to XYZ album,
Dude, I could say,
whatever.
like when I was a kid, it took me a while to like get over Geddy Lee's voice, but now I love Geddy Lee's voice.
And one of their drummer is one of the best of all
Oh yeah,
time,
yeah. Oh,
Neil.
dude, inspired the hell out of me to like play drums.
That's
So
really nice.
I
Neil Peart is the best
thank you.
drummer ever.
Yeah, the Cheetos guy on the Family Guy cartoon.
It ain't
He like
easy being
smacks the
cheesy.
glass. It ain't easy being cheesy.
Well,
Yeah,
that,
dude.
yeah, go ahead.
Wait,
Sure.
what?
We could beatbox.
Dude, like, dude.
Axel will bust out the guitar anytime you want him to.
Yeah. I actually keep my rig.
You come in
Well,
the VRC, you
Yeah,
might see Foxo playing.
you know, I'm usually the drunk guy on the weekends, uh, singing about what he sees. I'm Randy Newman.
rings a bell. And bells are also an instrument, by the way. Anyway,
Dude, bells are
I,
relevant.
I am not much of a singer. I actually kind of hate singing. It makes me feel really embarrassed. So that's why if I ever do any music, it's definitely going to be instrumental compositions
Dude,
and like just performing through like instruments and physical objects that can just make musical forms of sounds, and just let it do all the talking, basically. And there's another thing that also comes to mind of what was it? Uh, well, as far as music goes, yeah, imagine if we did make a band. Like it throws like a fan art of our personas like right now, and I could just like turn it into like a band painting. That actually would be kind of fun.
dude, can we have shirts where we're kissing on the lips?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Um, dude,
let's see.
dude,
Hmm.
I'd be down.
Oh, anyway,
As long as it's not, as long as it's not $3,000, that would be great.
no, no, no. It's just something I'm thinking about. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like a personal project I'll do for fun, where there's not really much of like money involved, or if like, oh, you guys could just donate after I finish it, or it could be commission, but it's definitely not going to be like in the four digits as far as prices go. That's for
Right,
sure.
right,
Because
right, right.
I don't know. I don't feel there's like
Well, I
I
don't.
understand like I can work on something and I need to get like an appropriate amount of money for commissions. This is especially true for like musicians. I even had to like pay Frederick Miller like several $100 to make a song, but that was actually pretty justified because the tracks that he composed for me that were like trance electronica, they were like 8 minutes long. Even one of them was even nine and a
Uh,
half minutes. So I had to pay like what $700 like roughly like $500 to $700 at least, and I feel like that was also kind of just undercutting it. So that was several years ago,
Oh,
and I
dude,
even have
yeah,
that
it's a
posted
lot of
on my For
work.
Affinity
Yeah.
profile somewhere in one of the music sessions. So it's something you can also check
Oh
out, and also I can probably citate and note when I upload this video as a just in the description. So that's definitely something to check out. But it's like it feels right, but it's like I don't want to overcharge people either, because if I start to like
yeah.
make
Right.
artwork and furry artwork that is
Well,
like in the four
you
digits,
wanna know
like
where
I have
that
to have a
worth
really good
is,
reason for it. Go on.
Right. Well, it's like you wanna know where the worth of
Hmm.
where you wanna know the worth to, like, know the value of, like, exactly what you're, you know,
Yeah,
putting out there.
yeah.
Right.
I don't know if I'll ever see myself actually making music. I do know some buddies.
Ah, dude, I could get you to make music. Like, I could hand you a tambourine. And, you know, I could give you a tambourine, a broken
Oh
a
goodness.
cymbal, and also one of those cluck things. What are they called? It's like they're kind of like cowbells, but they're like, I don't know. Some
Cowbells.
of them are made out of ceramic. Anyway,
I've
give you that.
it also kind
You
of
can
makes
make
me think of like this like one YouTube video. I think most of the description was originally, I don't know about originally, but apparently I saw like a Russian version of it in terms of its writing and text. But other than that, the video was just a compilation of like people playing and performing unusual instruments, and I thought that was kind of fascinating. It's like, you
Yeah,
know what? And then
it
somebody
was.
commented on YouTube. It got a lot of likes too. It's like they said, they should like form a band of like very like unconventional instruments, and it's like, yeah, I think that would be a pretty awesome idea. Like I know some people who did like metal drums that look like something you'd like sit on, and they were doing it in a group. And then there was another that did like xylophones, but they were like made of giant like rough crude like stones. And then there was like another that was like, oh, it's like something someone was playing like the Nutcracker, but they just like simply moved their fingers on this rotating like fabric ring, and I don't even know what to call it exactly. So I thought it was interesting. Then there
Well,
were
it was
some
kind
really
of like
wacky ones as well.
the
Like they had some like trash like industry like road instruments, or road like objects that were modified to become music instruments, and it was just kind of insane to look at.
that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like speaking of the Nutcracker, is it kind of like clave? Not clave. God, what are the little claps? God,
Mm,
I'm like forgetting all
You
the names.
mentioned a nutcracker, and then what you described would be kind of close to the Blue Man Group, and I was thinking blue balls.
oh goodness.
That's
Yeah,
inappropriate.
dude, blue balls.
So inappropriate, but blue balls.
Oh. Oh well. I think there was also like somebody who did like was trying to perform a Mozart piece or a Mozart like sample song, and it was used with modified flippers or sandals, and it actually you can actually hear the notes and the melody behind it. And it's just one of those
Oh
another examples that anything can actually be turned into an instrument, much like
yeah.
how anything can also be turned into a weapon.
Oh
Yeah,
And like
I
imagine
may
that,
have
like a
ranted a
weapon
little bit
that's also a
recently.
music instrument. That would basically be something to like I feel like that could certainly muse some people's time. Like, oh
Can you
yeah, look,
imagine
they're
getting
in
like hit in the
war and
head
they're
with a
bored and they're
trumpet?
tired of fighting, and it's like, let's go ahead and play some music with our own,
Right.
objects.
Oh yeah.
So,
Uh, Dude, if the music's really good, they're not really looking at anything,
mm,
but they're all around each other. It's
There is
pretty
a game where that
cool.
is the premise: music as a weapon.
what's it
If
called?
you're familiar with Aerosmith, it's called Revolution X. It was an arcade game, and then it came to like the Sony PlayStation. I still have the ROM and the CD somewhere. I actually plan on streaming it at some point, but it's you throw like laser disc as like kind of like a grenade option, so kind of, and it's like one of those on the rail shooters, right? And it has, unfortunately, I don't know how you would not get DMCA'd because it has Aerosmith tracks throughout the whole thing. But it's a very cool premise for the '90s, and I played through it several times, and you get to hear Aerosmith, tracks as you're going through and progressing, killing the bad guys, which they're called NON, New World
on.
Order, New World Order, Nation. I can't remember, like, but it was like NON. They're like black and yellow, and they look like wannabe stormtroopers, kinda. And they're like, "We're here to shut you." They have like a voice how do you say that?
Uh,
Vocorder,
uh, uh, um, uh, a Buddy 3 collar.
vocorder, where like it's like it's so
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like it's like that.
yeah.
So you can barely understand what the hell they're saying. They're like,
Yeah.
"We come to the club to shut you down," or something like that, and it's like you'll obey, something like that, and like you just you're too uh rock fans that just pull out some kind of machine gun and just start destroying them on a rail shooter, basically.
That sounds pretty neat. I think I also remember like a similar, well, I wouldn't say similar, but a game that kind of makes me think of another music, like heavy or music themed video game of that era, and that was called Jet Set Radio. In America, it
Oh
was
yeah,
called
Sega.
Jet Grind Radio, but it originally released for the Sega Dreamcast. You basically like skate around, and like do graffiti and like you really but the soundtrack and the art style really blends well together. It's cel shaded and it's like a lot of this urban like grooviness to it.
Oh yeah, also kind of in that 90s era, not exactly exclusively a music type game, but I would say pairs very well with music is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater
mm,
series.
yeah, the pro skater games, they've definitely been a thing. I've never really played them myself personally, but I've
Yeah,
like
I played the
witnessed a lot of
first
it.
one. That was about it. Wait, so I got a weird question for both of you.
Hmm.
Of a game that like had really really good music when you were like 6 or 7, right? Or maybe going up to 10. Did you really notice the music was really good until like later on? Because like think of it this way. Playing the game without like any of the music going now would probably make it stale, but if like you're thinking about it as a kid and you're not really thinking about the music, but yet you're having a lot of fun with the game because of the music, but not really noticing it. I don't know. Did you ever experience that before? Because I feel like I've experienced that with like Star Fox.
Oh yeah, I
And
definitely feel this way when I
yeah,
was like playing like N64 games such as like The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
immediately
yeah,
came to mind first. And anything from
yeah.
honestly Koji Kondo really makes this stuff catchy. Like we can't go wrong with Mario music, even including like Super Mario
Oh
64,
yeah,
for
yeah.
example.
How catchy it is, and yeah, and also catchy, and also I I like the Mario
There's also
theme.
one game I also want to take mention of, which was for the PlayStation, a music themed video game, mind you, was Parappa the Rapper.
Oh yeah, Parappa the Rapper. Oh my
And
So
god.
yeah, I haven't played it
kind of
much myself,
answer.
but it's like, you know what?
Look it to the right.
They're iconic.
Yeah.
Kind of
I
answer.
remember seeing Parappa the Rapper, like the second one on a demo disc. You remember getting demo discs?
Yeah, PlayStation Underground.
Remember like that? Remember the one demo disc that actually that would erase your hard drive?
I don't remember that.
You know,
Hmm.
they actually released a um, broken demo disc that
Oh Lord.
it was like one of the games. I forget exactly which one of the games. If you booted it up and then closed it, it would take all your save files.
That is terrible. Yikes.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, there was like two instances. There was like two instances with like PlayStation 2 games
I still
and
have one of those demo discs
destroying your
somewhere.
save files. I don't know. Like I remember this cartridges being like such shit. Like
I actually
Well,
faintly remember hearing about that kind of stuff on like a really on YouTube videos, and it's like, oh shit, it's now flashing back to me. It's really unfortunate those kind of instances would happen because of a glitch from some other hardware piece, like another like demo disc, for example, like you mentioned.
I feel like it's happened. I feel like that happened to me once,
Hmm.
and I didn't really think it was going to be a demo disc or anything like that. I think it was just like oh great, yeah, all my save data is gone, yay.
Yeah.
Because I've had it happen like a few times with like it just um save files getting corrupted or whatever. like getting all angry.
It also kind of sucks when music files get corrupted for composers. Like it either glitches and sounds really weird and trippy
Oh,
and like
dude.
totally
So
yeah.
there's a thing with FL Studio, where if you had like your rendering settings like set to like medium quality, which I know that's a vague, like but bear with me. It was like one of the versions, like if you exported a WAV file, um, it would do this like weird feedback loop sort of deal when it's done exporting. So you would
Mm.
go into the folder, right? The folder locks up. Can't access, can't move anything. And then while you're trying to figure out how to shut it down, everything else starts getting going to poopy. I've had that happen.
Oh yikes.
And
Yeah.
I see I had no idea it was like the WAV file, you know, that was doing that. And how I got rid of it was like putting it into a like putting the folder into a folder and then a folder in the and then deleting it. So it
Mm.
wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, but yeah, I mean, it was so confusing when it happened though.
I see.
But like yeah,
Yeah, it's also just unfortunate. Like imagine all your work just going to waste because of a glitch or like
I've
a file
had
corruption. And
so
that's actually what happened to one of the most prominent game composers for SquareSoft. His name is Yasunori Mitsuda, and back in the mid '90s, they were almost done making music for Chrono Trigger. There was also quite a bit of unused file, but unfortunately, what happened was that late in the process, he lost like I think more than half of his compositions, and
ugh,
brought it to
it's so
himself
heartbreaking.
with every ounce of determination to recompose and make a lot of music for the rest of the game, to make up for lost time and what remains before the deadline. And unfortunately, it gave him like an
Right.
ulcer, a really bad one, and he got so tired because
Oh
he was working
no.
for 4 days straight, nonstop,
Oh
I
my
believe. And he actually, his team got concerned, and after they finished the game, I think around that time, he got admitted to the hospital, and just as the game was about to be released, his health was getting better, thankfully. I mean, that's how he was able
yeah.
to like get back on
Mm.
track and start composing for more games. But he made a vow to like accept help and assistance from others as musicians, and also just like make sure he keeps his health in check when he's composing for a lot of stuff, so he
Right,
does
right,
not do that ever
and
again.
not
So
erase
it's
half
like
of
it's
his
so bittersweet because
stuff.
like he makes amazing music, but it's like damn, dude.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, I've had that happen to me.
Oh.
Uh, um, like I was making electronic music like since I was like 13, right?
Hmm.
And all the music that I made like all throughout high school when I was 18, I had it on a little spare drive, like wire portable drive sort of deal, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I didn't really take the precautions to protect it, nor did I really know any better.
Mm.
At least that's my excuse. And everything it was gone. It was gone. I it was about it was about 7 years of work, and my like first I still have my first track I ever made, which I'm not going to show anybody but but yeah, it really sucks because like there was a lot of like different like I don't know. I always feel like it's when like making little bits of music, like it doesn't really matter what it is. It's like a picture, and you remember like you like have flashbacks about like
Yeah,
just
it's
little
like
stuff that
nice.
you
Yeah.
did. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. And it's like have that like yeah, it felt like a house fire.
Mm. Yeah, that's why it helps to like back up the same files in multiple
Yeah,
avenues and not just one or two.
I was really dumb. Like,
Well, I mean, we all learn, and I could, this goes for anybody. You'll just always multiple, like back up your stuff, like in multiple places. Always do that. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like cloud or like hardware, even both of those. And it's like you have multiple hardware, and you want to back up certain things while it has the capacity to do so. Great, do it. it also helps to
They're
make it
like,
a
what?
habit, like, do it routinely. Like, oh yeah, because then you'll never have much of anything to worry about.
Right.
So, let's see what else. We're getting pretty late here. So, are there any like, final like expressions that you would like to make, Foxo, in you, Smokey, as well, regarding music as a whole?
I don't know. Um, I don't know. You want to hear me play guitar?
Sure, if you want, just for a little bit.
Only if it's appropriate. I don't wanna like force anything.
Nah, you can just go ahead and do
I
it like a, I don't know, like a half or 1 minute sample, just
uh,
for fun.
like yeah, I do. It's just like I do like little soft stuff, and I constantly play around with like my rig.
Hmm.
I have a drum machine, and all that stuff, and everything. I'm always like just assembling it because I'm like,
Okay.
what does this do? What's that do? What do?
So, yeah, I'm not sure if he's like getting it right now or if he's like with him, but Smokey, do you still play any instruments these days at all? Like, or any like music software? The audio softwares I use are typically Audacity, but that's for editing music because I like to like put soundtracks in backwards and just save it these days.
I don't really play any instruments. I messed around on them,
Hmm.
but that's about it.
Ah. Yeah, that's funny. I mean, I can just hear some of those samples. Well, anyway, we do have to actually conclude the stream, so thank you, Foxo, for your your
Oh
performance
yeah,
as
it's
well
no
as the
problem.
discussion.
It's
Yes.
no problem. When Smokey was telling me, it was like, oh, you want to be on a podcast? I was like, oh,
Yeah, pretty
it's
cool.
about
And
music.
thank
I was
you.
like, oh, okay.
Mhm. And thank you, Smokey, for the contribution and discussing with us. So we will be wrapping up the show right now. And that being said, there's really not much else going on. I actually do have to get going pretty early here due to other stuff as well as work on a lot of commissions. So that being said, let me find something in mind because it's like, oh my God. Anyway, that's it, folks. Thank you very much, everyone, for the podcast. And that being said, I will see you guys later and have a great night. But before we actually go, next episode, episode 4, the release date as well as the podcast show date is to be determined. The topic is also to be determined as well as the guests, but I will announce it online when I can. Thank you very much for your cooperation, everyone. And that being said, I think I might have a good idea of what it might be about. Probably be either something more along the lines of story writing or perhaps something that's also creative as well. But it is not confirmed yet, so stay tuned with that. And I will see you guys later. Until next time, and do some more art streams. Good night, guys.